Thinking about something. I see a lot of old school DJs talking about this, especially like the really big ones that had are very influential in the scene and what it is today. Like if it wasn't for them, there'd be no music scene, or I don't know. They definitely were there in the beginning. Paul Oakenfold, um, Tiesto, right? Even though this is a certain genre, they Paul Oakenfold would come from England or even Britain. I think he's British, and he would come to America in the '80s and '90s before he was even a producer, and he went to the Paradise Garage, which was one of the first parties in New York City uh, of that nature, of that type of dance music, and it was the beginning of the whole thing. Like the clubs that followed were like Sound Factory and Twilo, Palladium. Palladium was even there before, but it wasn't that type of a club. It was more of a ballroom, like in the '30s and stuff. But talking about dance music as we know, as I know it, was shaped and molded um, because of these things that happened before, that came before it. So, what am I doing here? Friggin' Paul Oakenfold, he's a trance guy. He loved Larry Levan at the Paradise Garage. It was a gay club in New York City, down in the village, that catered to gay men, gay black men. How crazy is that? It's not crazy. Well, to me, it would be crazy because I'm straight. I'm a straight white guy, but I love the music, nevertheless. And it doesn't matter who was listening to it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just saying that's what it was, and I've been a student to it this entire my last 25 years. I've been a student to it. I'm trying to absorb all the information I can about it. I thought it was fascinating when I was a part of it in the '90s. Um, so Paul Oakenfold was talking about like how the art of DJing is ruined, because of the technology, right? Like no more can you take two records and blend them together perfectly. Like everything is done for you now. The sync, the technology, um, made it easier. So the art of DJing, I guess, as I don't know that art I've seen it, but I have not experienced it. I wasn't. I can imagine what they were doing with the records. I have records. I could even imagine that it was extremely difficult. I don't think I could have done it. I guess if I really focused on it and tried, but it's extremely difficult to mix two records together perfectly with all the frequencies and everything else that's going on at the same time, from what I've learned. But being a digital DJ, not an analog, I'm not an analog DJ, right? Everyone knows that watches me. It is difficult. I keep explaining this. It is difficult. You get so many buttons, so many things happening at one time. I'll hit the wrong friggin' button all the time. So much so, it's such a thing that Tractor put a setting, put a setting in there in it where you it'll prevent you from making a mistake like that. From starting a track that's still playing in deck A. It won't even let you load it. Forget about starting it. You can't even load it. Because I'm not paying attention to anything. I got all this stuff going on at the same time and trying to make it all sound good, and I'm firing off tracks or whatever. I'm syncing up different cue points in my mind. I make a lot of mistakes. I would think I would think that the old days of mixing records might even be a little bit easier in that aspect. 'Cause there's not so much going on. It's just the two records, you know. I don't know. I never did it, but yeah, I played this weekend. Not this weekend. Tuesday, I was off from work. It was a holiday, and so I took advantage of it and I played. What's up, Paulie? The music that I played on Tuesday, to me, was the best that I've been played so far since I started 2 years now. But because of a simple mistake, because now I'm running Ableton live with Tractor simultaneously. You can link them together where like it'll so if I'm playing something in Ableton at 126 BPM, I'll link it to Tractor and then Tractor automatically just hit play and it's in sync with Ableton. Awesome, right? The thing that messes me up is that if I don't stay in Ableton. I'll either like showcase something I'm working on right in the beginning of my set, and then once that's done, I'll go into Tractor and I'll start DJing. If you don't take the link button off in Ableton when you're done, nothing is gonna line up in Tractor ever. And I'm playing all this wonderful music, like the best music that I think I've found, classics that I never heard of. Such awesome stuff from the 90s, 92, 93, 94. Like the sounds are incredible. It's inspiring me. I can't wait to start laying some stuff down now, especially that I figured that little hiccup I was having on Ableton. But nothing was, I was train wrecking the whole set. And it's horrible because it was such good music. And so anyway, I'll do this weekend, I'll play again. I'll do another set with these tracks. I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about like what I've been doing in Ableton too. That's a whole nother animal. I'm just starting to grasp it. Um, yeah, it should be good, man. I might have some time off of work, so it'll give me more time to work on stuff. It'd be a good winter. I swear to God, it'd be a good winter musically. Hello, Lewis, Doctor Lewis. I was asking for you the other day. And I don't see, and I got to stop talking to my sets too. It's too much. I'm listening to my playback, and I'm like, oh my God, I go on and on. And that's it. I just wanted to talk about that. No, no, I never. Hey, good bird. What's up? How do you pronounce that? Bird? No. I bought two Techniques back in 2004. I had a Rain rotary. I bought a Rain 2016, and I bought the 2016 XP, the Expander, which is the EQ. It was a separate EQ. It came into like $15,000 in 2004. That's the first thing I did. I bought two Techniques, 1200s, the Rain, an amp, Odyssey box where you stand right in front of it. Everything, the controls are right there. It was a straight thing like that. And because I also had a Denon 2600, which was also the CD changer that was in the booth at factory. I couldn't use the Techniques. I could not get the records to mix. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Yeah, it was extremely difficult. So now I have one turntable, And if I can't find a track, a classic that's, that's not digital, I'll buy the record and then I'll rip it, the wave, or AIFF rather, and that's how I get the file. Yeah, it's very expensive. All these hobbies are expensive. All this equipment is expensive. Guitars, band, instruments, even camera equipment. I spent thousands on professional camera equipment. Where I would love to do it again, but I don't have the thousands to spend on it. Oh, I didn't see these comments. What did it say? Export mixdowns from Ableton to Tractor Prior. What is a mixdown in Ableton? I never seen that. I never seen a mixdown in Ableton. I don't know. Is that like a term? What's that, like step sequencing? One of the controllers has a step sequencer. I don't know really much about it. It's endless too, man. It's really insane. My boy said once you learn how to control the pitch, it's a little easier. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And even check this out with the sync button. I'll tell you something about that too. In Tractor, I don't leave the sync on. I could hear it. I fucking hear the difference when I turn toggle off and on sync. I'll use it to mix the next track in, but then I'll instantly shut it off because it warps it. It's not playing freely. It's like on some kind of lock, and there's a subtle warp, and I don't like it. So I just use it to mix the two tracks. If I had more time to focus on, mixing it without the sync, I would, but I don't. There's too many other things going on. I'm too burnt. um, I'm sober 10 years now, but I did a lot of drugs for a lot of years, and I'm not the sharpest pencil in the friggin' whatever you call that. So, and I'm still doing it, like I'm still doing it, but I make stupid mistakes because I'm not paying attention or I'm not. It's too much going on, and I'm not able to get it all. Yeah, just hit the sync button and just like do the rest. Maybe one day, I don't know. I get it. It's not a big deal to me, like whether you can mix with sync or without. You're still playing good music. I get it. Okay, you could do that. Great. Good for you. So what? Don't be bitter about it. Embrace the technology. He did say that after he did. Paul Oakenfold did say that in the interview. He said, but nevertheless, we got to embrace technology. It's here to help us. Ableton is DJ soft. No. Well, it can be. Yeah, it can be. You could my friend Mikey DJs with it. Jonathan used to DJ with it. Jonathan Peters. I don't know any other DJs that use it for that, but you definitely can load it with tracks and fire them off. I think it's difficult. Act is much easier, more traditional as in the sense. Ableton is more like programming. You're not DJing. You're like a programmer. Even if you're playing a set, you're programming the set. You're arranging where you want everything to start and end, and that's like true programming. It's yeah, but you could also DJ with it. Nicole Madaba uses track Ableton to DJ. Wow, I know she uses the push. I didn't see what she had on the screen though. I never see her screen. I could see what she has in her boot though. I'm not a big fan of hers. She's okay. It's not that I'm not a big fan. There's no garbage music, right? Everyone has their own opinion and feeling, and what she's doing is incredible. But I don't like it. Like it's not my cup of tea. I'll go to Beatport and I'll see what she's got out new coming out. Her tech house is a little. I don't know. It's like I like it more grungy, more underground, more less mainstream, if that's even the right way of saying it. Gotta sound a certain kind of way. I'm listening. I didn't even sleep last night. I'm up and got home at midnight. I was like, all right, I want to get up at 4 in the morning, and I've been listening to music, going through tracks and finding music for the last 4 hours. Five now. Well, now I'm having coffee and breakfast, but I'm gonna go to work exhausted, crazy. Trying to do more content like without where I can monetize. I want to see what I'm hoping I could hit an algorithm again, like I did that other time with the 2000. Doesn't seem to be. I changed my description, put some big names in there in my YouTube description. Doesn't seem to matter. Well, there's 10 people on now, but there's always like 10 people on. My Wana came to my house one day with a set of cups, and this is the last one. It was four. The other, I broke, they fell, I dropped by accident, knocked into it. If this one breaks, then there's no more cups left from her. Yeah, I don't really get it either. I watch a lot of content on it. I don't know. You just got to keep making content. I'm not even thinking about YouTube anymore. At this point, my eyes are set more on going out to these clubs in Brooklyn. I was out this weekend. I went to go hear Bushwhacker. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I connected with a couple of people, a couple of promoters that I knew from back in the day that were there. I reached out to them. Hey, I'm a DJ. If I'd like to open maybe anything. I don't know. I don't know what to ask. How to ask. Uh, Something more tangible, something more real. That system I heard this weekend was in. Oh God. Oh man, it was the second best sound system I've ever heard in my life. And someone like him, Bushwhacker. First time I heard of him, he was a duo, Leo and Bushwhacker in the 2000, 1990, 99, 2000. Love Story, if you remember those tracks. Finally, Kings of Tomorrow, Leo and Bushwhacker remix. And then in 2002, this is like at the height of me getting music, you know, from then. He came out in 2002 on his own, Butch's Bushwhacker, with his remix of Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, and it was great. Jonathan used to play it every weekend. So here we are, 25 years later, and he played in Brooklyn at this place called Refuge, who is owned a new club. It's owned by these two guys from New York City, SBS. One of the guys is the guy behind SBS Sounds. SBS, if you're familiar with that. Gary Stewart Audio or something. I think it's the same thing. But SBS. Well, I'm going to start going out. I'm going to start going out to these places and start mingling with these people and seeing if I can get through the back door or something, open for somebody. There was a girl who opened for Bushwhacker. She was great. Her name is Cosmo. Pretty girl too. Nice. I don't know if she was black or she was light skinned black girl. She played good. Anybody would play good on that sound system. That sound system was insane, man. It was four stacks. It reminded me of Cielo. The ceilings were taller though, but the four stacks that used to be in Sound Factory like that, and the tweeters were hanging from the ceiling each by each stack, and it was crisp. You could talk, you could hear your conversation with the person next to you, and it was still thumping. It was amazing. They built that sound system from scratch. That guy SBS Sounds. The floor, when the people were dancing, like the floor was bouncing, like it was almost moving. It was crazy in there. I stood right underneath the disco ball, right in the center, because I knew that's the way that you're gonna get the best. You could be next to the speaker, and that's just one speaker. But if you're in the middle, bang, you hear everything. And I just stayed there for a while. He's pretty good, Bushwhacker. His mixing was amazing, immaculate, flawless. So, and what he was playing on CDJ 3000 with a probably I think a V10 Pioneer V10. I didn't see what mixer it was. The booth was high up. I could look up. I could only see like the DJ. I could see the CDJs, but not the mixer. I would definitely rock that room 100%. Especially what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. What? Just with those tracks alone. Insane. I never been to London. I never left the country. Someone else told me that. I need to publish like shorts and stuff. I don't have the time. There's no time. If I'd have to like not play one day just to chop up all my videos, go through them, find the areas I want to use for 30-second whatever shorts. So much work for YouTube. All I can do is what I'm doing. When I have off of work soon, I think by the end of December, this job's gonna end, and I'm not going back until it gets warm. So I'll have those 3 months to do a lot more. And Paulie, if you're still there, man, I want to apologize to you publicly, even though you don't want me to. He's private. He doesn't like being shout out on here. Um, he tried to help me. He tried to help me a lot, and I appreciate that. I didn't have the time. I don't like you sent. He sent me a bunch of good material to learn. I didn't get to do it. I can't. I had no time. I work 12 hours a day from noon till midnight, and then I sleep for 8. No time, and even on the weekends, I got all to do to play. And yeah, sucks. This job sucks. It's a great paying job, but not even, not even great paying for this amount of time and effort. People make more money doing less. People make a lot more money than I do. Uh, people are making. couple of thousand a week, doing a lot less than what I'm doing. I'm not even making a couple of thousand. What am I bringing home? I did the math yesterday. $80,000. $80,000 a year is what I bring home, and that's not a lot in New York City. I almost bought the V10 yesterday. I don't have a pot to piss in. I get my paycheck every week, but then by the next week I'm broke, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna get that because you get tired. I get tired of the same mixer. I had this thing over a year now. It's still to date the most expensive mixer. Well, I think the Orbit is more expensive. The Orbit's at 6 grand. This is at 4. The V10 is 3,800. So I was gonna finance it. And last week I was gung ho. I was, I called Sweetwater. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna have one in stock next week." I was like, "I want it." So he calls me yesterday. I'm at work. He's like, "Steve, good news. I got the mixer." And I'm like, "Yeah, the disco ball. I love my disco ball." And then I was watching all the videos from last year where I used to switch the camera angle around. I got to start doing that again. Instead of look at the same scenery. I watch some of these other DJs. They'll go out into the wilderness and they'll fucking set up and start playing. The ocean behind them. My friend's telling me to do that. I'm like, I can't do that. How am I going to do that? Gonna take my equipment everywhere? No, I'm not going to get rid of it because, so let me finish that story. Um, he calls me up. He's like, because I did look up prices to see what it go. I paid 4,000 to sell that now. It's going for 2,800. It ain't worth it. I know I had it for a year and a half, but nah, I'm not willing to lose that much money on it. So I'm just gonna keep it. This shit is amazing. That's an insane mixer. That mixer. It sounds amazing. If I had like a real sound system, my God, Louis Vega's using it now all the time. David Morales uses it. He switches back and forth from that to the ARS. Uh, but the V10, I went to go hear Danny on the V10, and he hit a button, and the whole room lit up. A couple of times he did it, and I'm like, "What fucking button was that?" And it's a compressor that the mixer has. Each channel has its own compressor. I think that's what I think is going on with that. But so he's like, "Yeah, the good news, Steve, like the mixer came in." So I'm like, "What's the first payment on the finance, the 6 month finance, $3,700 mixer. So the first payment is nine and change. He even got me a deal. It was 3,800. He got it for 35 because I'm such a loyal customer. First payment's 900. I don't have 900. If I do, but if I paid the 900, I would be fucked. Like later on, other ways, like other bills and stuff. But last week, I didn't care about it. I was like, I'm doing it anyway. So when he called last night, um, I'm like, nah, I have to cancel, decline. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I thought I was able to do it. So he was like, yeah, no problem. We could try later, another time. And I will. I will get it. It's not now when I'm doing better. Yeah, because then I was going to sell this one and I would have kept that one. But then I know I'll regret selling it. I know it. I almost sold the push once. Like, okay, I'll regret it because I'm going to learn that fucking thing and I'm going to be amazing with it. Everything you need is in that push. Everything. As far as I know. I just need to learn it. I see the polyphonic sounds. I was listening to some shit this morning, man. And I could hear the push in it, like that they use it. And just like a lot of it is like the melodic shit is pads, right? So not pads, the drone sounds. It's insane. It's sick. And then you could like throw a lot of other stuff over that and really, really create some crazy stuff. Some real cutting edge sounds. Yeah, man. I got a couple of good melodic tracks to play this weekend. I'm excited. I can't wait. I just got to pay attention so I don't make mistakes. I learned a lot from listening to Bushwhacker, the way he mixed, and I'm even mixing a little bit better because I knew what he was doing. Because I'm still learning. Yeah, in the Arctic. You need a new mixer. What mixer you have now? I don't have another one. I only have the Alpha Theta. I got rid of the Pioneer when I got the Alpha Theta 750, which was not a good mixer at all. $750 mixer. What? No, $1,350 mixer. Anything less than the A9 is not going to really do it sound wise. I heard the A9 sounds good too. A9 Nexus 2 or something. E and S has a good mixer. E and S. It's a 4-channel rotary analog. Candesa boutique mixer. I think it's Australian. Reza. These are nice mixes that are out on boutique mixes that are out on the market. $2,500. That's a good price. You're gonna get a good mix of anywhere 2,500 and up. Anything less than that, I think, is it's not gonna really do it. I also learned one more thing this week about the gain. I learned that I don't really have to. My trim doesn't have to be all the way up. I thought it did for YouTube and for it to come out loud, and I was fucking myself because I was really distorting my. I was really the louder I got, the more I was distorting myself, and I had to learn. I didn't know. This weekend, I brought it down below 12 o'clock. I'm usually up right at 12 o'clock, which is too much. Um, I brought it down below, and the playback was incredible. Better, much better. All right, well, it's 9 o'clock. I need to take a nap before I go back to work. I got to get up at noon. I use Tractor. I use Tractor. I didn't understand the record box, so I didn't like it. Yeah, how long have I been on here? Oh, 30 minutes. Wow. I'll be back. Wish I could play, but I gotta get more rest. I was up early. Cold out. It's windy and cold in the 30s. Be out there all night like a slave. But at least I'm getting paid for it. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate you all. And see you this weekend. We play some music. All right.